Well, I had to take a break. That was my father. Now, my parents are living with my sister in the Chicago area now. My father tried to take care of my mother who has Alzheimer's. Oh boy. Whew. Boy, was that an experience. Wow. Okay, they have two disabled daughters. My sister in Kansas City has an illness too. I had my own illness. There was no way in God's green earth that I would have been able to take care of my mother. Um, but I was able to research for my father. And sadly, my father is extremely stubborn and has his own issues and would not follow some of my advice. So, at any rate, my younger sister in Chicago is taking care of him, and I pray that it works out. I really do. My mother also has heart disease, and the doctors say that she doesn't have that much longer to live. If she dies, I suspect my father will soon follow her because they have been married for over 60 years. They cannot live without each other. That I guarantee you. Anyway, when I thought I was recording before, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I was really getting into it. Okay, I'm going to shorten it a little bit. One thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that God, or my creator, I like to call it my creator because uh, God belongs to everybody, and my creator belongs to everybody, okay? I don't care what religion you are. God is God. Please, can we all agree on that? Oh, man, on Google Plus lately, it's just been outrageous. And I'm sorry. I'm going to stay out of that. Don't try to get me involved because I will stop. You will not see another word written by me in a posting if you attack me. That'll be it. I will not participate in abusive behavior. I have been abused about half my life by several different people, and I will not be abused today. I will not allow it. No way. Not from anyone. Okay. Now, the thing I was talking about when I so rudely found out, uh-oh, I'm not connected here. Uh, the thing I was talking about was the fact that God provides our needs, okay? Now, when I say God provides our needs, I am not talking about our wants. Those are totally different things, okay? Let's think about it, all right? Now, needs, all right? I'm going to give you an example. When I was younger, much younger, and I had little tiny children, my daughter was my youngest child, and she was almost 2 years old. It was a month and a half before she turned 2. She probably doesn't even remember this. Anyway, her father was somewhat abusive to me. Not as abusive as some other people were, but he was still abusive. And he did some other things that were not good. And uh, I forgive him completely and totally. He's the father of two of my children, and you better believe I forgive him. He was sick, and that's how I look at it. Okay? Now, I had some friends. We were living in Texas at the time, and I had a girlfriend down there. She was from Chicago too. A whole bunch of us moved down there, and some from California moved out there. The company moved a bunch of people there. But anyway, she was one of the people who said, Steph, please, I'm afraid he's going to hurt you seriously. And you have these children that you are responsible for, and you need to be well to take care of them. So, I had to think about me, all right? So I didn't pray. I was not a spiritual person yet, okay? But I did listen to her. And there was an incident that happened that finally I realized, oops, that's it. I have to find safety for me and my children. So I left. Now, I tried a few places. They didn't work. It didn't work out. I'm not going to get into it. It's too long a story. It will be in my book. Okay. At one point, we were in the Kansas City area. I had a Gremlin X V8 engine, by the way. Cool car. It was a used car. Okay. Problem was it broke down a lot. So who had to fix it? Me. Here's the good news. I have a lot of mechanical knowledge. That is always a good thing for a woman to have. And fortunately, I had it. You aren't going to pull the wool over this one's eyes, believe me. I know better. But anyway, at one point, all I had in my pocket was $150, my little children, and that Gremlin X car, and that was it. And it was early spring. And in Kansas City, early spring at night is very, very cold. In fact, it even snows sometimes. We were living in the car, so I could figure out what to do. During the day, I'd go over to people's relatives' houses or go visit people, talk to them about what they suggested that maybe I should do. Of course, everybody wanted me to get a job, but here's the problem. If you don't live in a place for a long time, you have a problem getting a job. It's called stability. Also, you don't get hired when you say, oh, yeah, we're living in the car. Okay. So anyway, I finally stayed at a hotel one night. I wanted to have my children be warm. I didn't care about the money anymore. I decided we needed beds. So we stayed at a very cheap motel. And when my babies went to sleep, I got down on my knees for once in my life. Probably one of the few times I truly meant it early on. And I said, Dear Lord, if there is a God, please keep me alive long enough to get these children raised in a good way, with food in their mouth and a roof over their head. Please, God, help me if you're there. Wow. And that's something. I slept through the night, by the way, very peacefully at night. The next day, my grandmother, who lived in a very tiny place, there was absolutely no way she could handle me plus the children. She could handle me, but she couldn't handle having the children there. My sister lived about 2.5 hours away, maybe 3 hours. She offered to take the kids long enough for me to find a job and to try to find a place to live. And my grandmother offered to let me stay with her. This happened the very next day. Simply put, there you go. Those were my needs. Those were my immediate needs. They were provided for immediately. No waiting. And here's the other good news. Within a month, I found a place for us to live. It was the cheapest place I've ever lived in my life. It had to be painted. A lot of things had to be done to it. Every bit of time I had on my hands was spent with my dear cousin. She was like a sister to me, by the way. She and I painted it, got it ready for my family. Unfortunately, though, because I wasn't divorced yet, I could not get the unit. It was a townhouse, unless my husband at the time was going to be part of it. He had to sign the papers too. Well, as it turned out, he decided that he wanted us back. That was another little miracle. My grandmother suggested to me, write up a list of things that you feel he needs to do to make this thing work. Now, she didn't suggest what I needed to do. That came later. That's another topic. But anyway, I did that. And I asked him if he would be willing to do those things. And if he was, I wanted him to sign it when I saw him, and he agreed to it. So we reunited. And for the next 5 years, we tried to make our relationship work. We did everything to try to make that thing work. But it just didn't. Okay? I will stay with my husband no matter what, unless I am being abused or if I feel my children are in danger. Then, nope, it's over. I will not stay with them. And that's just the way it is. Well, at least I was thinking of me for once. When you think of yourself, you're helping everybody else that you love. Most people don't stop and think about that. They think it's selfish. No. It's selfish if you don't love yourself. That's selfish. Believe me, I know. I spent many years not loving me. Okay? And I know. And the times that I did take care of things properly, I believe my Creator was the one who took care of those things. Okay? Remember, the Creator takes care of our needs, not our wants. Now, what did I want? I wanted to be rich. Well, that didn't happen. You know what? I'm rich in many other ways. Money and material things doesn't make us rich. I found that out. And I'm so happy that I learned that. Thank you, dear Lord. Thank you. And I look up at the sky like God's up in the sky. Why? Because we're trained to do that. God is within us. That's what I've learned. God is everywhere. God's out there in those trees. God's in the ground. God's in the universe. God is everywhere. And God is within me. And God is within you. Jesus Christ said something, and I'm not going to try to do this word for word, okay? He said, your body is a temple, and God dwells within it, and you need to take care of it. Well, there you go. And by the way, the Quran, it speaks about Jesus, his birth, everything. Yes, I've been reading it. Yes, I'm becoming educated in another holy book. You see, I believe any book written by people who talk about God is a holy book. That's what I believe. So I'm going to read any book, holy book I can get my hands on. And I honor and respect all holy books. All of them. It's getting a little late. But anyway, I'm going to cut it for today. I've got to help my sister with my dad's new computer, I bought it for him. You know why? It's his birthday present from me. And I was a programmer, so I usually set his computer up. He even called me this morning. That's what the phone call was. He wants to know when he gets to use his new computer. We're in the middle of setting it up. Well, y'all have a great day. Absolutely great day. Okay? And there's going to be a lot more about needs and wants and miracles coming up. Okay? I promise you. And I love all of you.